Eagle Scout induction. Nice. Very cool. No, I never made it to Eagle Scout. I did all of Cub Scouts and then like 3 years of Boy Scouts, but never got Eagle Scout. Right. That's amazing. Oh wait, and then in Google Hangouts, wait, can you share your screen in Google Hangouts with me, or do we need to also be on a Discord call so I can see your screen? Okay. Perfect. Yep. We are, absolutely. Watch out, Mr. Beast. We're coming.
Let's go. All right. Hey, we're back. We're live. I got the hookup here. Looks like he's sitting right next to me because we're professionals now. How's everybody doing? Welcome back for the second half, part 2. Happy Sunday. All right.
We can hear you both. Oh, you can hear us behind the screen.
Oh, could you hear us chatting? Actually, that reminds me. I need to pull up the stream, and I need to pop out the chat for myself so I can see what's going on. Because we're professionals. There we go. Pop out the chat. Now I can see. All right. Great timing. Not normally awake in the UK when you're live. Well, good. Then I'm glad we did it this time. That is one of the nice things about doing it as often as we've been streaming lately is we do get to catch people that don't normally get, on when it's a normal time. Hey, you did a stream recently, didn't you, Rob? You did a stream a month or so ago.
Yeah, it was like a month ago.
Yeah.
I don't know what came over me. I forget why I even decided to do it.
Because I remember I popped in for a minute and
yeah.
You were just looking around. You had a bunch of different whatever parts and objects, and you're monkeying with stuff, so it was fun. Let's do this. So much Matt says.
It's ridiculous here.
Yeah, it's been bad, and there's been things that I've been like, okay, I'm gonna get to that, and now it's so far down the priority list, I'll probably never pick it up again.
I finally fixed my landscape lights. They've been the ones in the back that are strips. I thought I had a bad pixel, and so like only half of them were lighting up, and I did have a bad pixel. But I didn't have to end up doing anything with it. Something happened where the solder behind the pixel actually broke off, and it was just sitting over the data and the ground copper pads. And so I was looking at it, I'm like, what is this? Why is there solder over the data and the ground? And I just like moved it out of the way, and the whole strip started working again. And I'm like, well, project complete.
Okay.
Don't mess with it.
That's awesome. You lucked out there, I think.
Yeah.
All right. So this is good timing because, we did this. I was thinking about it. We did this exact same thing last year. You remember?
Yeah, I think we did too. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it might even have been part of the 12 streams of Christmas. It was definitely.
It was. And actually, I think it was the original day that you decided that we were going to do it because I think it was your wife's birthday.
Oh yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's funny. Well, I haven't made much progress in my use of NodeRed since then.
Right.
Sad to say. But I love the idea. I think, you said you're working on a video, right? And working on another beginner NodeRed thing.
Yep, exactly. I'm working on a NodeRed video, and, you can do anything. So, my wife will often ask like, hey, is this possible? Can we do this? And it's like, of course, like literally anything is possible with Home Assistant and NodeRed. Like whatever you can dream up is fine, as long as you have some grasp of NodeRed, because you can do crazy things. I just recently in my daughter's room set up the thing where she's got the two switches, and one of them controls like LEDs, right? And they can be blue and they can have different animations, or they can just be all white. And so I made it so that if you flip the room lights on first, like her fan light, and then you flip the LED lights on, or the switch that controls the LEDs, they come on as white. Or you can have it so if you flip the LEDs on first, they come on with the patterns, and then you can flip the room light on to whatever you want. So it's just like whatever order they go in. But it was so easy to do in NodeRed that, and she was like, "Oh, this would be really neat if you could do that." I'm like, "Of course I could do that. That's no big deal."
Yeah, and that is a good example of something that would be really hard to do with YAML.
Exactly. Yeah, it would take you so long, and
it would be really hard.
It would be so many lines of YAML. But in NodeRed, it's like 5 nodes.
All right. Well, let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'm all updated here. So somebody asked here, I saw the question in the chat, how would you describe NodeRed? Somebody doesn't know anything, says, what's NodeRed? What do you tell them?
NodeRed is a way for processing incoming data and then doing something else with it. So taking it and putting it into outgoing data. And so that's a lot like Home Assistant in that you process these like things, these APIs and MQTT messages and things like that. And then you control them either via automations or whatever. But the key is that in NodeRed, you can do it all visually. You don't have to know a whole lot about what's possible, because you can sort of just start somewhere, with what you want to do, and then see what kind of data is actually coming in. And that's sort of what I think we should focus on today, is learning how to see what data is coming in and then do something with it. And like adding stuff to it. So what kinds of things do we want to do? We were doing X scheduler earlier. Do we want to do something with that?
Sure.
MQTT with that, or REST API with that?
And I have been very interested in how Amazon Echo has been integrating recently with NodeRed differently than it had been in the past, right?
Yep, absolutely. We should do that
so
too.
I think that would be really useful for me. And then I just want to answer Ryan again. I think he was the one who said, how do you, what is it? He says similar to if this, then that. Yeah, I think so. Would that be kind of fair to say?
Yeah,
but it's local.
Way better. It's local and it's faster, obviously.
And it's reliable.
And it's, crazy reliable. Frank is always talking about how he doesn't use it because it adds another point of failure. But I can count on one hand the amount of times that my NodeRed has been the point of failure. It never happens. It's Home Assistant, or it's the actual device, or it's the Wi-Fi network, but it's never NodeRed.
I have yet to find anybody who has really gotten into NodeRed that has said, something else is easier or better or something like that. It's usually, like me, I've learned how to do something a different way. And so rather than learn a new way, I just keep defaulting to that old thing. And then he says, oops, sorry, I bumped the mic. He says, what hardware is required? It's an add-on to Home Assistant. So if you're using HAS.io, it's just an add-on. So you just go to add-on and you add NodeRed, and Frank's got it pretty well dialed in where it connects to Home Assistant right away, right? You don't have to there was a time in the past where you had to do quite a bit of, grab some information from Home Assistant and set up certain nodes and do some things. And now it's all pretty much there as soon as you start up the add-on.
100% right? All set up. And it gets all kinds of data from NodeRed, so you don't even have to know like entity names or anything. You just start typing in, and it searches through all your entities and brings them right up. Like, it's amazing.
Sweet. All right, let's do it. So we were talking about what starting point would you recommend then? Start a new node? Or start a new?
It depends on what we want to get. So if we wanted to start with MQTT, or if we wanted to start with the REST API or the REST command.
Let's start with MQTT.
Okay, so if you're going to start with MQTT, if you scroll down past Home Assistant on the left, there's a pink node that says MQTT. And if you...
Right there.
There's 2 nodes for MQTT, one obviously with the dot on the right and one with the dot on the left. And so if it's got the dot on the right, that means that something's going to come out of it. And if it's got the dot on the left, that means that something's going to go into it.
Okay.
So that's your MQTT in. Yeah, so that's the one you want.
So I'm going to start a new flow.
Yeah. Go ahead and add a flow for purpose of today.
Okay. Connects to an MQTT broker and subscribes to messages from a specified topic.
Yep.
Okay.
So then double click on that and it'll pop out a thing from the side.
Okay.
And you probably already have your MQTT server set up. I'm guessing.
Is there a way to double check?
It's probably going to show your password.
That's okay. Everybody's got it at this point. But yeah, okay. So it's already in here.
Yeah.
So I believe that this is brought in through the integration way, through the add-on.
Cool. I didn't know that. That's amazing.
I assume it is.
It didn't used to be. I know that, but
okay.
Okay. So there's your
now
topic.
I've double clicked. Here's my topic.
Yep.
And then what did we set up? We set up in X schedule. We set up this crazy advanced Fred thing.
Yep.
And we did this show end, and we set up this, right? So we set this up to send an MQTT message,
right,
to this topic.
Yep.
So we can grab that topic and put it here.
Yep.
Okay.
And then hit done. Or you can name it. You can put it something if you want, but it's just going to default to the topic that you. And so this is essentially just subscribing to a topic. And so if you take this and then you grab a debug node, which is like sort of like a green color.
I'll go up here and
usually
because there's so many of them, I'll just search for it. There we go. This debug one. Okay.
Yep. And then just draw a line in between and just pipe in between.
Okay.
And then over in the debug node, it's always a good idea to double click on it. And then go down to where it says message.payload. And instead of message.payload at the very top there, click on message and do complete message object.
Okay.
So that's one of the things that I sort of wanted to explain in my other video is the difference between the complete message object and message.payload. So message an object is basically like a giant grouping of variables, right? It's like a big thing and it's got all these attributes to it. So it's got message.payload that could equal something, or it could have message.topic or whatever, but it's like a big chunk of variables that gets sent through all of the nodes. And in every node, you can read a different variable or output a different variable or whatever. But it's just got all of them all in one, and that's what's traveling through the nodes. So we're going to look at everything.
So the message is, so in my mind, just to restate what you're saying as the newbie, it's like a sentence, right, or something. And what you can do is grab out different parts of that sentence, different words based on where they are in the sentence, like what comes before them or something.
Basically, if you imagine a piece of notebook paper, and then at the top, you wrote the letters MSG, right? Mm-hmm. And then on down the sides, you wrote different things. So payload, and then equals, and then something, and topic, and then equals something. So they're all part of that piece of paper that's called MSG. And you could call it whatever you want, right? It could be called, my new message dot payload or whatever. But this one's just happens to be MSG as the default object. But all those things are contained on that single piece of paper, and you can go and read one line or two lines or all the lines or whatever. And you'll see it when it comes through on the debug window.
And Gary said we'll show both. We'll show it, how it was, and we'll show it with the full message.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, so here we go. We got the complete message is what it's going to show.
Yep.
So I can hit done.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can hit deploy.
Yep.
You have to hit deploy every time to actually make it active, right?
Yep, exactly.
And then I'd have to go over here and run this like we did before. Let's get out of there, and then we can run this. All right, place selected. And then we can skip that. And now it should have sent that message.
Should have, yeah. So if we go back over to NodeRed.
Okay.
And then over on the side, there's like that little, that one. Nope, not that one. It's one further over than that. There's like a little arrow. I think it's because your screen's small that you can't see it.
Oh,
there you go.
There's something.
So click on the bug because you're debugging, right? There's a little bug there. And then go down to the bottom of that. So when you...
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, there you go. And so you can see here, it's got payload equals, right? And then there's all these other things. So this is what advanced thread has ended. That's message.payload.
That was the payload. That's what we told it to send.
Yep, advanced thread has ended. Exactly.
Okay.
So now let's do something with it, right? So let's go and grab a switch node.
Okay. And the best way to find these nodes is to just search for them rather than scroll through for days. Okay, so drag a switch node over here.
Yep. And then instead of piping it just into the message there, pipe it into the switch node.
So now it goes from here into the switch.
Yep.
Okay.
And then click on the switch. And so now it says if message.payload equals, and so if you copied that advanced thread has ended thing.
Is there a way to, yep, there is. Okay, so I can grab this and I can copy.
Yep.
And I can put that here.
Yep.
Okay, so now we're saying if the payload, which here, this is the part it's reading. It's saying if this variable or this attribute is equal to advanced thread has ended, then it's going to do something.
Yep, exactly. Then it's going to let it pass through there. So down at the bottom there, you can see the little thing that says add, right? So if you click on that, right? Mm-hmm. So let's say you've got another playlist. And so when that other playlist ends, it's going to send, Michigan Fight Song has ended or something like that, right? Well, you could type that in there. And then what that's going to do is it's going to give you two different outputs to do two different things based on which playlist has ended.
So if we had a different message being sent or a couple possible messages, I only had the one playlist that was called Advanced Fred,
right?
But assume it was a different playlist with a different name, then this would be different. This would say, instead of Advanced Fred, like you're saying, it would say Michigan is the greatest football team in history, and it would go, it would go, and we could put that there, and we put that in here, and it would say, okay, if this is what the message says, if this is what the payload is, then do thing number one. If the payload is something different, then do thing number two, or not something different, but if it's this exact different thing.
And if you go over to the equals there, you can make it whatever you want. You can say contains, is between, has key, is empty, is not empty. There's a bunch of different things that you can use as comparators to say, because let's say you used contains, and then you just had one that said contains has ended. Well, then anything that ends, anytime a playlist ends, something will come out of there.
Got it. Okay.
And so this is a really cool thing too, because now you're splitting out into two different places. You've got a single node coming in, but if you hit done now you can see there's two nodes coming off of it. And if you hover over the top one, it says equals advanced Fred. And then if you hover over the bottom one there, it says contains has ended. Now,
so that already this would have taken two YAML automations to do this, because you can't really have two. Well, I guess you could have two triggers, but not like this. Okay.
And so it'll split now, and it'll say that something will come out of both of these if it's advanced Fred has ended, right? It'll come out of the top because it equals advanced Fred has ended, and it'll also come out of the bottom because it contains has ended.
Okay. And then what comes out? Does just true or false come out, or does that actual message come out?
The whole thing comes out. So
it just keeps going. That same message just keeps going.
Yep.
Okay.
So now let's just for the purpose of the discussion here, take a change node.
Okay.
Okay, and throw that in there, and then maybe pipe the top one into there. And then click on that change node. Double click on it. And see how it says set message.payload?
Mm-hmm.
You can set message.payload here, and what it'll do is it'll overwrite what it was before, which was advanced Fred has ended. Or you can set another, you can go down to the next, line on your notebook paper, and you can have a different thing. So if we set message.topic,
and this you would change?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And there's no such thing as message.topic right now. So what it's going to do is it's going to take another line on that paper, and it's going to say, okay, the first line was message.payload. The second line is message.topic, right? And so let's say we had another topic that we wanted to send something to, right? Like
a switch.
Like okay, a switch or
a light in Home Assistant or something.
Or even sending something back to X schedule or something like that,
okay.
right?
Okay.
Any old MQTT topic can go there. So just pick a random one.
Okay, I'm like, it's not going to be a real one.
Yeah,
we'll
that's
just
fine.
say it's okay, something like that.
Great. So then hit done. All right, so now what I want you to do is delete the line between the first thing in the message and the debug window there. Yeah, that one.
This one?
Yeah. And then connect it to there.
Like that.
Yep.
So now we're going to see the output of this.
Exactly. So go ahead and deploy it.
And then we'll go over here and activate this thing again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then we're going to look at our debug thing over here again.
So now you can see it's got topic equals that, payload equals that, and these are all part of MSG, right? They're part of message.
Okay.
And you can then do different things with it. So if we grabbed an MQTT out node.
Okay.
And you pipe that in there. And then double click on that. And you can see there, if leave topic blank, leave topic QRS blank if you want to set them via message properties. So if we leave the topic blank, it's going to send a message to message.topic.
So since we created that attribute of topic now, is attribute the right term? Would you use something else?
Yep.
Okay. So since we set an attribute called topic and we said make it this what used to be the payload, now it's just gonna default to putting that topic in this line.
Yep. Now I see that it's capital there. It might need to be capital. We might need to go back and do the
make that one topic.
Yeah.
Capital topic.
Yep.
Right here. Yeah, that would throw somebody off for hours.
Exactly.
Trying to find out.
I'm not actually sure if that would cause an error or not. It might be smart enough to know that, but I'm not sure.
I'm trying to remember if topics are case sensitive or not. I don't know. I think they might.
Topics are absolutely case sensitive, but I'm not sure if the attribute is.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay.
All right. So now what would happen is it's going to take the message.payload, which is advanced Fred has ended. It's going to switch it through here, and it's going to send it to the topic, whatever one we chose.
And it's going to make it that Sonoff desk.
Yep.
Okay. And then it's
okay. No, yeah. And so this is one thing that you could, if you wanted to stay all MQTT, which NodeRed was really designed for MQTT. It's like, the guy who, what's his name? Something O'Leary. The guy who wrote NodeRed also is the guy who wrote the PubSub library for Arduino that is the most common MQTT library.
Wow.
Nick O'Leary is his name.
Okay. And he made this, or he was a principal guy in getting NodeRed?
Yep, he made it.
Established? Wow.
I think he wrote it while he was at IBM or something, and then it got released as, I don't know the story of it, but it's something like that.
So if I had a device that was going to respond to the topic that I wrote there, which I made up, was command Sonoff desk.
Yep.
I would still need in order to make that, say it was a light switch, in order to activate it, I would still need an on or an off payload, right?
Sure. Yep. And so if you wanted to do that, what you would do is go back to that switch node, or to the change node. Sorry.
Change node.
Yep.
And so this is helping me already, because I didn't know what a change node was. But if I'm understanding, a change node is taking some attribute. In this case, we took the payload and we changed it to a different attribute and called it topic.
Well, you certainly could do that, but we didn't. We took
Okay.
message and we just added a thing to it. We didn't change
Oh.
message.payload. We could if we wanted. So if you scroll down a little bit,
yeah, that's right. It was still there.
So go to add. And now if we do that, we can set message.payload to on or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Or toggle.
Toggle. Okay.
And then it'll send toggle to command sign off desk.
Okay, so we did that. Let's deploy it. Let's go back here. And I know there's an easier way to do this too. We could, create a little switch in NodeRed to test this every time. But this isn't too hard. It's a nice way to make sure that that connection is being made as well.
Yep.
And then we look over here at our debug. And now
the payload is toggle.
Payload is toggle. So we took the message that started out up here as no, it was even before that. Oh, I guess it's not showing it anymore. But we took the message. Oh no, this is right. The topic initially was X schedule sensor end. The payload was advanced Fred has ended, and we've changed that now. We said if that's true, then change it to X schedule. Well, I guess that topic's the same.
Right, because we didn't change that. That's something that we were setting in the change node, right?
Okay.
And then the payload is the other thing we changed. We added the topic in, right? We didn't change it.
Okay.
Which is the same. It's changing something and adding it is the same. We just set message.topic to that, and we set message.payload to that.
Okay.
All right. So that's super advanced already. That's if you wanted to skip Home Assistant completely. But let's not do that. Let's go and look at how easy Home Assistant is. So
yes.
Just click out of your search thing there where you're searching for MQTT. Just go up to Home Assistant. And now instead of the MQTT, let's call service.
Let's delete this and let's do call service. Okay.
Yep. And then just double click on that. And so now what do we want to do? Let's turn off your office light or something.
Okay.
So go to where it says domain. Is it a switch or a light?
Switch.
Okay. So go to switch. And service is going to be toggle or turn off or whatever. And then now you're going to do start typing in office. Or no, it's called castle or something like that. Or
tower. That's right. Okay, so now there's a lot of stuff in here. Let's see.
That's anything that has. So if you do switch dot.
Oh, okay.
That'll get you.
I was hoping that since the domain was up there that it would take care of that for us, but that's okay. Maybe it's not. Maybe it is Office. Yeah, that's fine. I think the Sonoff device is called Tower, or the topic might be Tower, but the switch is called Office. Okay, so there we go. So we're going to turn off the Office. We'll turn off the crown lights.
Okay.
Okay.
And then that's it. Done.
Done. Data looks like it's got a red outline. Does that mean anything?
We can put data in there. We could put brightness data in there or effect data or something like that, but we don't have to. We could just put it in JSON.
Okay, so the red outline doesn't mean it's required or something?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Done. And is this what do I want to leave this change?
It doesn't matter. So essentially what will happen is anytime a payload hits, anytime a message object hits that service, doesn't matter what it says in it, it's going to do it.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter that it's got things in it or anything. It's just going to do it.
It doesn't. So this service call doesn't care that this is changing the message.
Exactly.
It just knows that it's getting activated. It's getting a message through here.
Yep.
Okay. Deploy. Run it again. This will be interesting. My lights will go off if this works, right?
It should.
It went off.
There it is.
Could you guys notice? But it did. It worked. All right. Now, how do we turn it back on?
It's toggle, right? So do it again. Didn't we do
that's
toggle?
true. It is.
No,
we did turn off. Well, let's change it to toggle, and then we can do it. So instead of service turn off, we can just do service toggle. Done. Deploy. And then again, this. Next step. They're back on. All right. Sweet. Okay.
So that would be a good way to, like, know if your show had ended, or know if somebody was watching your show. You could have, if you had your button outside or whatever to start the show, you'd know, okay, now it's ended because the light will turn off, or something like that.
Okay.
An example. So then let's do the other one. Let's do just tying two lights together.
Okay.
So let's say this is a super common thing that I do, and it's one of the most useful things, and that is turning on smart bulbs with light switches that are smart, right?
Okay.
So if you go over and you grab a events state node, the Home Assistant one there at the second from the top.
Events state. Okay. I'm just going to answer Jorge in the chat. Yes, Jorge, we are going to do some voice stuff.
Yep.
That's definitely, we're not going to stop before we do that for sure. Okay. Okay. So this is a state change. This is event states.
So anytime a entity in Home Assistant changes, it's going to send out a bunch of states, and this one's going to look for specific ones. So whatever our entity is, let's say it's going to be some office light or some switch that you have access to.
Okay. Can we do like would this be a motion sensor kind of a thing too?
Sure. Yeah. Whatever. Literally whatever you want.
Okay. So I'm going to do a binary sensor and make it should have some PIR stuff in here. Sure. We can use Office PIR. That'll probably go crazy, but that's fine. Okay, so this is a binary sensor. This is a motion sensor here in the office.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so if it matches.
If it matches some state. Now, if you don't know the states, how are you going to know, if you don't know if your states are on or off, or true or false, or motion detected or not, what are you going to do? Well, you can just leave it blank. And then if you just hit done now, and then you pipe it into a debug node, you'll see what's actually coming out of that.
I'm just going to get a new debug node here.
That's totally fine.
So, okay. So if I don't know I see what you're saying. If I don't know what words it's using to indicate whether there's motion or not.
Exactly.
This is going to tell me. So because this is kind of how I would look it up.
And I think this is the most important part about NodeRed versus YAML, is that when you're typing things into YAML, you kind of have to know what things they could be. And so you end up with a screen over here that has the possible things that are going to, like the documentation for it. And then you're over here typing in things. And as you've done it 100 times, you know that it comes out on or off or true or false or whatever. But
I know where to find those things. But as somebody that's new doesn't know where to find those things, it's pretty easy to just say, all right, I'm just going to put this debug here because I know that will just give me the output. It'll just show me what's coming through. And it won't be wrong. You can copy and paste. You don't have to worry about mistyping it.
Yep.
Okay. I dig it. I can dig it.
And so another interesting thing that you can do is all those things over in the debug window there.
Yeah.
So every time, I don't know if Frank just needs to fix that or something, but all this, every time you hit deploy, it's going to look and see if it's going to try to come back, and it comes back too fast so that the Home Assistant service hasn't started yet, but NodeRed comes back. And so it gives you all these messages that's like, oh, your service, your Home Assistant isn't ready, but it's like only not ready for a half a second, but that's enough time for it to send all that gobbledygook. So if you hit the little trash can up at the top, it clears all that stuff out.
And that should be active. So then hopefully if this thing detects motion.
Or maybe it's already detecting motion, because it has to change is the thing, because Home Assistant is a big state machine, right? So it really only cares when they
change.
It's showing.
So that was probably a bad example.
The message that it's changing, right? Exactly.
That was a bad example. Let's find. We could just do it. I see what you were going to do. You're going to just have us use another. It's funny that keeps wanting to pop in there.
What, the Grafana thing?
Everything just restarted. Like all my lights in the office just went off. And my fan went off. Home Assistant. This is interesting.
What happened?
I don't know.
That shouldn't happen.
No, it shouldn't happen. I don't know what happened. That's interesting. Let's go to Home Assistant in another window. Everything looks fine here. Turn all that back on. I don't know. It had a seizure. Home Assistant had a seizure.
I wonder. I don't know. I got nothing. I got nothing for that.
Okay, that wasn't supposed to happen. We'll just edit that out.
I don't even know.
Good thing it's not live.
Could have done that. Could have done that.
I don't either. Sometimes that it doesn't happen very often, but I do have some random restarts, and occasionally that'll. I do have that happen.
Is it possible that you have like a home and away thing that turns off all the lights and it flipped you away for a second?
Could have. YAML knows you're cheating on it, Shane says. Yeah, who knows? Exactly. I have so many gobbledygooked automations out there in the world. Like I can't figure out why my Christmas tree keeps turning off in the middle of the night. I don't even know what's going on there. But it does. Anyways.
You can also so my NodeRed is absurd. I've got like 1,000 things. But you can Control F in NodeRed to search all your flows.
Oh, okay.
And it'll give you all the spots, like, assuming that you've done a good job naming things, it'll give you all the spots where your Christmas tree could be turning off or something like that.
Okay. That's nice because that way you don't have to, because part of the reason that I have one big long YAML file is for the same thing. If I don't remember where I put something or where it was, I can go in there and search for a keyword or two that I know or have to do with that thing, and then it usually takes me to it. So that does the same thing.
Yep.
Okay. And so do you have like tons of flows up here on yours?
I have like 7. I have 11. I didn't see the button to scroll to the right. I have 11 of them, and some of them are like almost completely filled. Like, and I try to group them. So I've got one for like schedules, and one for switches, and one for echo skills, and one for home and away routines.
And in that tab, you've got
tons of them. Yeah.
Of these, right? Bunches of these drawings, or whatever you want to call this. What's the terminology you would give to this?
So, I know that the things at the top are called flows. I think they're called sequences or something like that. Okay. It's in one of my videos. I looked it up when I made that video, what the actual terminology was.
So a few questions here in the chat. Gary says, can you pause or turn off a section of an automation in NodeRed like the automation section in Home Assistant? So Home Assistant has a toggle for an automation. How do you do that here?
It depends. The answer to that is yes and no. If you are just like sort of panicking and you don't want it to happen, the easiest thing to do is just take the line. So like, let's say we're going to go through the MQTT thing, right? If you just took that and you deleted the line, hang on, someone's at my door. Yes.
That never happens to me.
Maybe not. Let's see if I didn't respond to some text messages or something.
Oh, Keith is back. Hello, Keith. So you mean you just take a line out here?
Just take a line, and then you're done. It's not gonna fire that automation anymore.
It's kind of like pulling the spark plug wire out or something. Your car won't run.
Exactly. Okay. Or if it's something that you actually want to do over and over again, you can do it with a input boolean in Home Assistant. So if you've got a bunch of things that you only want to run at certain times, you can make an input boolean in Home Assistant, and then use that as a check in there. You
use
can
that,
check the state of it.
Use that in one of these as a switch, right?
Yeah.
You said check the entity, and if the entity is on, then keep going. If it's off, then don't.
Yeah. So if you, for instance, you had a bunch of automations that you only wanted to happen when you were gone, right? That had a bunch of different inputs, but no matter what, you only wanted them to happen if you weren't in the house, all you have to do is put a little input boolean node in there, a current state for the input boolean node. So if you go there and you hit current state.
Current state. Okay. So you'd put this, and you can do that, right? You can just drop it in there.
And then double click on
here, and you can say, let's just say, because I probably have, let's just call it a binary sensor, whatever, basement doors. This isn't real. If state is on, then it will, continue.
Yes. So this is cool though. So hit done. So you'll see now that you've got actually 2 outputs from there. So go over to the right.
Oh yeah.
So the top one is if the thing that you typed in was true. Right. So hover over that top node thing. It says if state is true, meaning like if it's on, because that was the state that you want it to be. And then if you go to the bottom one, that one says the state is false. So if it is on, then it'll do that stuff. But if it's not, it'll go on to the bottom part.
Okay. So that is a way to switch things on and off. I thought there was also a way to sort of say, turn this on, turn this off.
You can disable the whole flow. So if you go to the top and you, I think, right click on that maybe, or no, double click on it, and then
enable,
disabled, yeah.
Okay.
That'll disable everything on that page though. So
yeah. And so if you have, that's a fine if each of your flow pages is only one sequence, or if it's all sequences that you want to turn off at the same time, then you can do it that way.
Yep.
But this will turn off everything on this page.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
All right. So do you want to do
next.
echo?
Yeah, let's do.
All right. So the old echo that you had in there is dead. So go ahead and go to that page.
This one?
Yeah. Everything that you have on here is dead because Amazon decided that they were only going to allow device discovery on port 80. And so see how it says discovery port 36533? That's the port on there. But that doesn't work anymore. You can only do port 80. So we need a new palette that is going to allow for port 80. And so what you're going to do is go over to the hamburger in the upper right and go down to manage palettes.
Okay.
And then you are going to go over to install. And then the one that you're going to install, how can I easily send this to you? I'll put it in chat. I guess that might take a little bit, but
you can Discord it to me too.
There you go. That's a good idea. Discord. All right, so go to type that in.
Okay. Okay. Looks like I must have installed it. Somebody.
You had that one already?
Uh-huh. But that's great. That's fine.
Did you? Are you sure?
Let
me...
NodeRed contrib Amazon Echo.
Oh, wait, that's installed. Okay. Okay, cool. So I assume that's the right one then. Okay. So hit close.
Okay.
And now, oh, you already have it. I see it. It's that Amazon Echo Hub there. That's right there. See
this one.
Says Amazon Echo Hub? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have something. Maybe did I do this with you?
I'm not sure. Might have been Mark.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, so you've got a device that's called ColorWinkle attached to it, right? So if you wanted to add an additional device, and let's go ahead and just delete it so that we can come back to it. So let's pretend like that's not there. So just go ahead and delete that, and the ColorWinkle thing too. And let's go ahead and start a new flow completely, just so it's nice.
Yeah, I like that. Let's do that.
All right.
Okay, so if somebody wanted something that's going to interact with Amazon Echo, we're starting fresh.
Yep.
They need to do that part, they install that manage palette, and the one that we just put in here, the NodeRed contrib Amazon Echo. So you need to install that.
Yep.
And now you're ready.
Yep. So now search for hub.
Okay.
Okay, grab that.
What does it say there? Oh, nothing. Okay.
And so if we double click on it, you'll see it says port 80, right? And we can process inputs if we want. Let's not for now.
Okay, so leave it at default, which is no.
Yep.
Okay.
Hit done. All right, so now if you search for she who shall not be named.
Okay.
Nope, not that. Search for Echo. Let's see what they're called. Hang on.
Device.
Echo device, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so pull that out. Double click on it. Name it whatever you want to be able to ask her for. So this is the actual name that it's going to be in your Echo device.
So would this be, is this the phrase I'm going to say, or is this the name of that Echo device?
So this particular thing is going to emulate a light, right? So you're going to be able to say, turn it to this %. You're going to be able to say, turn it on or off.
Okay.
You're going to be able to say whatever, but this is the actual just thing, right? So you'd be able to say, turn Christmas tree on, turn Christmas tree to 20.
Okay.
Yada, yada.
We're going to have to change this because I already have a couple things named Christmas tree and she already gets confused. So we're going to call it Christmas LEDs.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay. Done.
Okay.
All right. And then you just pipe those together. And if you deployed it right now, it would find Christmas LEDs, which I think is one of the coolest parts here. So you could do a device discovery now for it. Just ask her to find new devices.
Discover new devices. She's starting discovery. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's working.
There's this weird thing that happens sometimes that I've noticed with it. I don't know why. It might say that she didn't find anything, but she did.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. I have noticed that too with several things actually.
Yeah.
So that's fine. It seems like she doesn't find them, but then either later she finds them or
you go into the app and they're just there.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. I can't remember what I was doing that did that recently. It might have been wLED, but yeah, it happened.
So the upside to this now is in the old way that you did it, pretty much every time you restarted NodeRed or even restarted the flow, every device had to go back into discovery, and then there would be some problems with, oh, that device isn't responding. I've never had that happen with this setup here.
Okay. She did come back and say she has not discovered anything new.
My guess is she did. So we'll just keep going on. I'm guessing it's fine.
I agree. Okay.
So now we can do whatever we want with this. So we can do a home assistant out, right? Because there's a spot out.
Mm-hmm. So
we could group a bunch of home assistant stuff together, right? We could do multiple different things. We could, let's just do that. Let's just turn off 2 lights or something, or toggle 2 lights.
Let's toggle my wLED controller that I have on the Christmas lights.
Okay.
On the tree.
Great.
So I guess if I shut this off, then it's going to go to this home assistant thing and I can grab all these things. So probably would want to
call service.
Call service.
Yep.
Okay. And then the domain is going to be light in this case. Service will be, let's do turn. Let's just toggle.
Okay. You just had an epiphany, but it's fine.
Well, I'm trying to decide because I'd like to be able to do the other things with it as well.
I know, yeah. So
brightness or effects or some of those things. Is that going to be possible? Okay.
Yep,
you have a wicked smile. You are looking this mischievous smile.
I see the gears turning. Right. This is great.
Okay. So if I do turn on instead of toggle, then I can do those other things.
Yep.
Okay. All right. And then entity. There it is. Okay.
Okay. So go ahead, hit done.
Okay.
So go ahead and deploy it. And then go ahead and ask her to do that thing, to turn it on or something.
Turn off Christmas LEDs.
Does she know what they are? Doesn't look like she knows what they are. Because it
No.
should have. The cool thing about NodeRed is that if it calls a Home Assistant node, it'll say that it's done it. It'll tell you, you'll get a thing down here at the bottom that says that it's been called recently.
Okay. Oh, wait. Look at this. I just got I just got on my phone the message that
She found it?
Yeah, that she found it. And I think she actually she did what we said we were going to do. Let me just turn this on. You guys are going to get some other text messages here as well. But hey, we're all family here. I just wanted to show you what it did. So it popped up with this new light named Castle Found.
No, that ain't right.
Oh, that's different, but that's because it found other things. But here it says,
there you go.
New light named Top Lights. Oh, turn off Christmas LEDs. There it is.
There you go. Middle one.
So, but you know what's funny is that these others, I haven't asked her to discover new devices in a while, but these other ones, like the Castle, I put some lights on the playhouse out back, and I guess Top, which is one part of the roof line, she hadn't discovered in the past. So that's what that is. She just discovered those. Those are wLED, and I'm trying to remember if I used the integration on those. I haven't used the integration on those. So those are just, she discovered this because of the wLED discover, you put an Alexa name. Sorry.
Gotcha.
So.
All right. So ask her to do it again now that she knows that they're there.
Okay. Turn off Christmas LEDs.
There you go. So see down at the bottom, it says light turn on called.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that tells us that it's working, right? But now it's always turning them on. So that doesn't seem like what we want.
Well, it's because I set the service to just turn on.
Well, right. So how do we know? How do we figure out what we're going to do, right? So what we need to do is we got to get a debug node, right?
Okay.
So get a debug node and let's figure out what's coming out of that echo node there. Yep.
Right? Is that where you put it?
Yep. And do complete message object. Okay. Deploy. So now ask her to do something.
Turn off Christmas LEDs.
Okay, and let's check what the debug has for us. All right, so there, if we do, so make that bigger now. Like with the little arrow that's on the left. No, on the left that one. Boom. So here's our object. Our object has message.on. It's got message.bri, message.hue, message.saturation, message.ct for color temperature, color mode, right? It's got an RGB array. You can see that there's your payload. Message.payload is there. It's off. So we can check all of these things. We can check anything that we want, and then we can pass through any of these things that we want as well. So for instance, we can check if it's on or off, if it's sending on or off. So let's do a switch node. And let's, okay.
My space management here is very poor.
Your screen is very large.
It is. I'm trying to make sure that old men like me can see it.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so double click on the switch node. And let's check message.payload. And then if it's equal to on or off. So go down to the thing and add one. and then off.
Okay. So this is going to look at the payload, look at whatever was under the payload attribute.
Yep.
And if it's on, it'll do one thing. If it's off, it'll do another thing.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so now we can, that we want that before the service call. So like out of the Christmas LED thing. There you go. Yeah. Okay, so that's if it's on, it's going to call the service turn on.
Oops, let's see. Now I want to go from there, because if it's off, I want it to turn off.
Nope. Because this is what we're not checking the current state. This is what's coming from the Amazon Echo. This is the message. When you ask the Amazon Echo to do something, this is what has come out of the Amazon Echo as a command.
Oh.
So
if I said
on,
if I said on, then that payload would say on. Is that what you mean?
Yep.
All right.
And so that's, one thing you can, so if you just copy that thing there, just copy that node and paste it.
Right click? No.
Just Control C it. Control C, Control V. And then do the bottom, but then just change it to off.
Okay.
So now you can do on or off.
Okay, here we go again. Turn Christmas LEDs on.
Okay, so it's just called light turn on, I believe, there.
It's funny. She keeps saying, I'm not quite sure what went wrong, but it's working.
So that is strange.
And there it is, payload on. So it did work. She did understand it.
And then, yeah, so now you can see it that light turn on got called. Now say off.
Turn Christmas LEDs off. There it is. Yeah. Okay.
So that's, in essence, that's the most basic stuff. But then let's also, just for funsies, let's do one more thing. And that is in the light turn on thing. Go to the light turn on and the service there. We can go down into data. And we can write in, what's the visual editor? I don't know what that is. Object. Maybe the other drop down over there. Add item. Well, that might be neat. Yeah, let's do.
Oh, it's making it so that
brightness.
So it looks like it's just formatting it for you. So you could either, you could either type this as JSON in, or you go to Visual Editor and it gives you more of a template for what to put in the JSON. That's helpful.
And then we want this to equal. Now go over there and hit the drop down that's next to AZ thing.
Oh yeah, because it needs to be a number.
We want it to be the object.
Oh, because now you're saying over here there's going to be an object.
I don't know what that is.
Object BR.
Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't. Go back over the JSON and see what it says.
Back over to which one?
To the edit JSON.
Okay.
No, that's not what we want. Okay, so just go over there and instead of that, just type in.
Because we want to say
I want it to actually be the variable.
Yeah.
So go. I don't know how to do this in the visual editor. So go back to the other thing.
Okay.
And just put in for there. Just type in msg.bri.
And now I've got to format this myself, right?
No, you don't. So if you typed in a, I don't think that'll work. I think there's no brackets. I think it's just like that.
And then quotes probably, right?
Nope, no quotes.
Really?
Because if you do the quotes, it's actually going to type in message.bri. But if you do no quotes, then it's just going to use the variable and set it to whatever.
Okay. All right.
So now hit done. And the cool thing is that if you screw up, it'll tell you that you screwed up. It'll say like that's not valid JavaScript that you've written.
Okay.
They're done.
So
now if you hit deploy, you could ask her to set it to 20 or 25% or something like that.
Okay. But if I don't have to say turn on or turn off now.
Nope.
Okay. Set the Christmas LEDs to 50%. Is that going to do it?
Yeah, should.
Oh.
API error.
She's got an error. Maybe because I didn't give her extra keys not allowed, data 0.
We screwed something up.
It's because I said 50%.
No, that should be fine. Because I
didn't say brightness.
Extra keys not allowed. Service set data transfer on.
Set Christmas LEDs brightness to 100. I think he's right. David has noticed it. David noticed, though, that the brightness changed. The number changed. Did you see this? The BRI changed to 128. I said go 50%. The BRI changed to 128. It was 256. And then I just told her to set it to 100, and it changed to 254. So it is working.
Yeah, it's working. But whatever our brightness. So go down, double click on it. And then go down to the possible keys that are at the bottom there. Brightness is the right thing, right?
Brightness. Yeah. It's not passing into the service node. Call service error means JSON is wrong.
Yeah. So I was trying to be nifty with this because I thought that you could do it now. And I'm pretty sure that you can. Let's see here.
We're still going to do some simple things. We're still going to do some beginner things. I see Diesel Guy in the chat saying it feels intimidating. I feel like some of this stuff I'm not ready to delve into. So this is good, but we're still going to do some simple stuff. Don't get
if you've got an idea in the chat as to like what kind of simple things, like give me an example of something and we'll definitely knock it out.
Scroll down more. Oh, brightness percent.
That shouldn't be it. Let's see. Data NTID. Brightness.
Does the variable order matter? Steven says.
It shouldn't. Data equals.
It's because brightness is in. Oh, is it because brightness is in quotes? No.
Now brightness should be in quotes, and the variable should not be in quotes.
Why does she keep saying? I wondered if it had something to do with her saying. I wonder if it had something to do with her saying, I don't know what went wrong. You know, she keeps saying, I don't know what went wrong when I tell her to turn them on or off.
I don't think that should be it.
Okay. It's not a number. Still, it's nice to know what it's capable of. Should be a number.
Because it's a number in the actual output there. Message.bri, brightness.
Comma after.
Do you think it's all those spaces in front of brightness? Here? And that would be insulting.
Somebody says try double brackets. Double brackets. Oh, double brackets around the message. And maybe that's why when we said the object and the double brackets, the brackets showed up. Maybe we should have put like that.
Maybe.
Casting Rickroll to Chromecast on YouTube. Okay.
You give that a shot. You used to have to do it with the function node, so all of mine are done with function nodes, but I thought they fixed that. And I probably should have tested that before we went live. But
so let's see. Trey says that's okay. We don't mind testing things live. Trey says turn my outside light off using sun event of golden hour end and on at golden hour.
Okay.
All right, let's try deploying this. And let's just see what happens if we try this brightness thing one more time. Oh, one more start bracket? Okay, maybe I didn't do it. I thought it would be... So I've got the start bracket here. Well, let's see if this is going to do anything or not. Set Christmas LEDs brightness to 25. Yeah. It did it, right? I mean, it sets this value to 25% of it, but I don't know what this is about. As a long press latches the light, curious how you would have done this for compare. Let's go back. Okay, let's see. Loomis is got a thing for us here. I don't know. Yeah, okay, timesies. Beep, 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 beep. Timesies. Let's back up to something simple. Let's back up and do a let's do a timer. Let's do a timer that does a light control based on a sun event.
Okay.
And let's make an output to an Amazon Echo device that says good night or the lights are on or something like that.
Can't do that yet. So,
okay.
So this
okay.
This Echo implementation that we've got here is a local Echo implementation, which means that it is just emulating hue lights still, right? So
I was listening, Rob. I just thought I'd try this in the meantime.
That's all right.
Oh, it did it, but it still does this error thing. I don't know.
I'll play around on my end here while we're chatting. But
okay, sorry. Back to what you're saying.
But since all these are local, that doesn't go out to the cloud, you can't input stuff into it. The only way that you can control the like making the Echo devices say something or like controlling routines is by having your own skill. So the way that you can do it with Nabokasa is that Nabokasa is its own skill in Echo, right? But this doesn't have its own skill. This is just it just works because it's native. It's discovered on your land.
So to say that again, this Amazon Echo Hub palette gives you the ability to give commands to Amazon Echo to activate things in Home Assistant or MQTT and other systems, X-Lights, whatever.
Yep.
But it won't let her give you back a custom output.
Exactly.
Like you can with like the Alexa Media Player, where you can put in a automation and say, I want you to say, Daddy's on his way home from work. And it'll say it out loud over the speakers. Or when I tell the thing to say, kids, come down, it's time for sign off. You can certainly
do that because you have that in Home Assistant already. So you can just call that service as an output in Home Assistant, but you wouldn't specifically use the Amazon Echo Hub node.
Okay. Any chance you could show an input Boolean, please? I want to keep a motion sensor light stay on rather than off on its preset time. Be nice if you could do that via Amazon Echo. Not sure. Oh, Troy says, I got this to work just now. And he gives us what he used. So let's try that.
Oh, interesting. So it doesn't need the message part of it. It just needs the attribute.
Set Christmas LEDs brightness to 50%. Success. She said again to me, she said, I'm not quite sure what went wrong, but it worked. Light dot turn on got called.
And so if you look at Home Assistant now, it should be at 50% if you looked at the state of that thing in Home Assistant.
Oh, I don't have that one specifically in.
Well, you can just go to the states thing. to the developer. Go to developer tools.
No, it's not even an entity. It's not in here. It's in as. Oh, maybe it is. It must be.
It's got to be. Yeah.
It's got to be.
So if you go to developer tools, and then states, and then search for that one.
Oh, it's probably on an auto discovery. That's okay. It's on MQTT auto discovery. Okay. This one.
So we should be able to see the brightness.
There, you can see the brightness
Perfect.
bar right in the middle. Okay. All right. Excellent.
Chat coming through.
Okay. What LEDs, Daniel? Those are that's a strip or string of WS2811s being run by a Node MCU with wLED that I have wrapped around the Christmas tree. So that's what that is. Okay. So I'm up for. So did you have other things, like as you've been going through what you're going to present, right, in your
right
next thing? What other?
So one of the things that I'm going to cover is very advanced, probably too advanced for this. I'm going to need visual aids and stuff. But that is the function node. So the function node is just pure JavaScript. And so it's very intimidating for somebody who's just starting out or that has never written JavaScript before. But it's also like the most powerful, obviously. Like you could type in an if statement, for instance, and you can, you know how we went through with the change node and we added attributes? You could do that in here too, but you could change what those attributes were going to be based on what other attributes were. Essentially, the function node, you can't necessarily do anything in the function node that you couldn't do with other nodes, but you could do 100 things in a function node that would take 100 other nodes. So you would need one function node or 100 other nodes.
Yeah. So a couple things here on the chat. Stone Obscurity says, try Blocky Node. Have you tried Blocky Node instead?
I haven't, but that sounds great. Is that like a JavaScript block editor?
It's probably not something I already have. Let's see if we can go over here. And then there was some, Nigel is saying his Amazon Echo, or his Echo Hub says cannot start on port 80.
So that's probably because you're running some other service on port 80. Are you in a VM, or do you know if something else is running on port 80?
Actually, I mean, I should be too.
But
I guess on which machine?
It would be on the
Home Assistant machine. So no, I wouldn't be.
Right. So it's
because I was running next schedule. The next schedule, when we were talking to Keith earlier, that's using my PC that we're
right. No, so this would be port 80 on Proxmox.
Okay. It seems to be working on mine.
Right. But even then, I'm not a Docker wizard, but it would probably be port 80 on Proxmox on the Home Assistant VM of Proxmox, right? So like you're like 3 layers deep into where that port 80 is.
So let's see. Nigel also says, can you have 2 stubs running? Or 2 hubs? 2 stubs? 2 hubs running.
Oh, why would you want to do that?
I don't know. Would this run on fast LED on my Uno? No, Henry. Don't think so.
What run on fast LED?
I don't know. I wonder if he's asking about NodeRed or something. Each Docker instance will have its own set of ports.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So you're like 3 deep in not having port 80 messed with.
Okay. What else we got up here? How can I, this is Stephen Reed. He says, how can I tell she who shall not be named to turn off a NodeRed sequence if the back door maybe is open for 3 minutes?
Mm-hmm. So I would do that with a Home Assistant input Boolean, right? So I would say, make a new input Boolean in Home Assistant, right? And then have it be, call it, back door open for 3 minutes or something like that. right? And then you could turn on. I mean, how can I tell? How can I tell to turn off a NodeRed sequence if back is open for 3 minutes?
Would it be something as simple as current state? If you put current state in the middle of something, and the state here would be your
I'm just wondering,
binary. I guess you said input Boolean, so that's fine.
so I'm just wondering why she who shall not be named needs to be involved in this, right? So it says if the back door is open for 3 minutes, right? That's the thing that becomes the trigger, right? You don't need Schmexa to come into that.
I keep alarms every 30 seconds if the door's open. Oh,
right. But you still don't, and you want to be able to tell Schmexa to stop sending the alarms.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, that would be easy. So you would say, make an input Boolean, and then have your Schmexa change the input Boolean from true or false, and then just throw a current state node in your alarm to say if that input Boolean is on or enabled, then it keeps sending the alarm. But if it's not, stop it.
Gary, what is the name of that other function, the alternative for function? So I looked for blocky, and I didn't get anything. And then he said blackly, and I looked for blackly, and I'm not getting anything. So it must be some other name. Earlier there was a question. Thank you, Timo. There's a question about how to link actions between flows. Maybe you could show that.
I think that's called a link node. Link.
Link.
Yeah.
In, link out.
Yep, you got link in, link out there. So if you type in link, you got an output. So you can have that, something coming into that, and then on the other one you do your link in. It's just a little virtual wire between flows there.
So you'd need each of these nodes, one in the whatever you want to call it, a flow, and then one in the other.
Absolutely.
Okay. And then there's going to be a way to link the two.
Yep.
And the name here would probably be the name of the flow, or the name of the sequence.
No, I think it's easier than that.
Oh, that's even better.
Let's see. Let's do one. So if we do this link, and we link this,
just put block. Okay. We're doing this. We're scrolling around this time.
Huh?
We got like 4 different things going on. Oh, that looks awesome. I don't think you probably can't see the stream, Rob, but when I brought up that squirrel that comes up on the left-hand corner, now your head is over the face and it looks like those are your ears.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you do the link node and you click on it, it gives you like what you're linking. Like there's like a little checkbox to say that's the one that you wanted to link. It's really, really simple.
Oh.
So if you connect the link in on one and then go to the link out on the other one, I'm not looking at your screen.
And it's between flows we're doing, right?
Yeah. So connect that to something like as in going out of the current state. Yeah, like that.
Okay. And then I need the out.
What have you done?
I don't know. This was an in. Let's delete this. Let's start over. We want the
link out. Yeah. You get the current state there. Okay. And now go to a different flow.
And do the link in.
Link in, and then message payload. That thing there. And then just double click on it. And see that then there's the flow.
It just looks around and says, where's the other link in? And if you only have one, it'll be there. If you have multiples, there'll be some identifier here you'll have to find.
Yep.
Okay. Well, there you go. Thank you. All right, let's see. What were we doing? Oh, I was looking at this Blockly. I went to manage palette and I just searched for block, BLOC, and there are some here. There's NodeRed, QNAP Blockly.
I bet it's that one, NodeRed Contrib Blockly.
Yeah, probably, right? Let's just take a peek at it, see what it does. Yeah. Read the documentation.
Right on. We'll definitely do that.
Yeah, right. All right, it says it's installed. So now if I go over here, Blockly.
All right.
Let's just see what's in here. Ooh. So now is this going to be like...
This is like Scratch.
That's what I was just going to say. Is this like Scratch?
Yeah.
Holy cow. It sure is. Oh my gosh, it's totally Scratch. Wow.
That's crazy.
That's awesome. Now all of a sudden your kids can do this.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Exactly.
That is awesome.
I was just messing with this morning, and my daughter and I were doing the code.org dance party. She loves that thing.
I don't know what that is. Code.org dance party?
Yeah, so
this is the link. Mark just sent the link, and I guess he says it's made by Google, and this is it. Basically, I mean, it's just Scratch.
Yeah,
that's super
awesome.
Cool. Huh. Okay, now you said code.org.
Oh yeah,
dance party.
You ever done code.org?
No, I don't think so.
So it's got things for all different ages, but one of them is dance party down at the bottom, like third from the right, I think, or third from the left, rather. Down at the very bottom.
Oh, down here, this thing.
That. There you go, dance party, and you can play different songs and have the cats dance in different ways, but it's all code, and it's Scratch like that.
Huh.
And so she's learning about doing loops and for loops and if and all kinds of things.
That's cool. Well, good. I'm glad kids are doing this. It would have been a lot easier for us if we'd have done this. Oh dear, I don't want my kids doing our lights. And then somebody asked, back to NodeRed and voice assistants, Google Home stuff. Is there some functionality?
I'm sure that there is, but there's nothing local. So
okay,
Google will not accept anything local. You cannot pipe stuff from your network into a Google Home or have Google Home do any local polling. So when you set it up, for instance, in Home Assistant, you have to go on and set up the cloud service. You've got to set up, whatever Google API you are using.
Yeah. Either you set it up like you have the app, or like you have the, not the app, but like you're the developer, you're making the means for getting in, or you use the cloud.
Yep. There's nothing local about it, unfortunately.
David says you can only do text to speech, but I think that's what we're saying, right? There's no way to do text to speech through this.
Right.
Into those things. You can do it in Home Assistant.
Yeah. With the custom component.
Yeah. With the custom component or with Nabu Casa.
Right. Yeah. I would love if that custom component could get hashed out a little more and then put in something specifically into Home Assistant.
What do you think
all the time?
What do you think about, it does break a lot. What do you think about the almond? Is almond, because I played with it very briefly. You probably saw me fumble around on that one stream a while back. But is there an output to that? Like is our Home Assistant Pi, or if that's what somebody's using or whatever, is that ever going to be able to give us an output with a speaker or something that would do, local, very simple text to speech kind of stuff? I don't know if Almond would have anything to do that or not, but I think getting voice output is really important, and it's really nice. It's helpful, but yeah, it's still not been flawless.
It's not even close to flawless.
It's certainly not flawless.
I mean, if you consider the amount of dollars that have gone into She Who Shall Not Be Named and to Google Home, can you compare it to the amount of dollars that have gone into Almond?
Yeah.
It's about as functional as you would expect, given the percentage.
Yeah.
Also, the amount of dollars that they're going to get from it versus the amount of dollars that the Echo and Google Home produce.
There's that too.
Yeah.
There's that too. I can't remember. Playing back in the day, last year, I guess it was, playing with what did they call it? Mycroft.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Mycroft.
Which even then, Mycroft has always been cloud-based. So, I mean, even though they said they were not going to collect your data, you still were using a cloud service. Now, Snips you could do locally, but then Snips got bought, and so they're toast. They're nothing now.
Dang it.
Sonos, right? I think Sonos bought Snips.
Is that what it was?
I think so.
I just want some text to speech. And it's funny because it's been easy at some times, and then it's broken at some times.
Rick, who's got local service in the pipe?
Rick Z's. What did he say? Mycroft.
Oh, Mycroft. Yeah.
Mycroft had a thing where, if I recall, now I am possibly getting my devices mixed up, but they had a thing where you could use their cloud that had all this voice recognition stuff, and they were, you were contributing with other people, or you could sit down and train your own.
I'm not sure. I know that they had to use some, that they didn't have a actual locally installable whatever voice recognition engine
thing.
Yeah, and so they were using some other voice recognition engine. So you always had to install that voice recognition engine that was on the cloud somewhere.
Yeah. I don't know what Bixby is, but these guys are talking about.
That's Samsung's thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've never even heard of it.
It was like
it must be great.
I don't even know why they do it. Obviously, all Samsung phones are Android, and so they could have used Google integration, but instead they came up with Bixby.
Yeah.
Who knows? Money.
Yeah. Too bad. Bixby is the worst. All right. Let's. What else for home?
We were going to do the sun thing. The sun thing is pretty.
Oh yeah.
Pretty simple. There's an actual sun node.
Okay. Let's do it. So if I filter the nodes for sun, okay, sun events.
Sun events.
Or a specific one that I assume that in sun events you could also get sunrise.
I think so, yes.
But we'll just do sun events.
You put in your latitude and longitude there.
I have to put mine in?
I mean, wherever you want the sun. If you wanted to make this based on Australia's sun, then you could put in Australia if you wanted.
Why doesn't it just find me? Come on, it's not like you don't know where I am. All right, let's just grab this. Where was I? I've got so many.
Home Assistant.
There we go. Okay, latitude's there. Longitude there. Oops. Paste. All right. Log event calculations. Oh, make hours seem like minutes. Wait a minute. Is that like when we're waiting for our wives to shop or
in the line at the DMV? I don't know what that is.
I don't know. That sounds like magic though. Sign me up for that. Make hours feel like minutes when we're at work. I mean, come on.
Like
this
that
is beautiful.
Adam Sandler movie.
The remote control. Come on. Okay. So I don't see anything else. Sun events node. So I guess. Okay, what else? Where do we go from here? Do you know?
No. Let's just hit done and see what happens.
Okay.
And pipe it into a debug node, of course, so we can see what it's given us.
So that is always going to be the common.
Yep. When you're playing,
fumble your way through.
When you're playing the debug node is your friend.
And make this complete message, and then you'll just see what happens.
Yep.
So nodes that are not properly configured, current state.
That's fine. Yeah, you drag that thing out. It's okay. It's no big deal.
Just
Not gonna hurt anything.
okay. And then is this going to just give me sun information somewhere down here?
It should, you would think.
Let's trash this.
Uh,
Oh, whoa, lights went off. I don't know what that just was. Something that we've done here that we haven't undone.
I bet you have a home or a
oh, there it goes again
somewhere.
I don't know why that's so funny to me, but there goes my lights again. Oh man.
You got some binary sensors turning on and off too.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, whatever.
You look at the debug there. You got a bunch of stuff in debug. What was it?
Let's see. Oh, you know what it was? My PIR, my office PIR. That's what it was. I have to hold real still now.
So that's what it was. So
it must have been.
I think that I don't even think that's this. I think you have a automation in Home Assistant to turn off your lights when your office is still.
Oh.
Because we didn't make that.
Well, I think in here somewhere I messed with it, right? Didn't I?
Not today. Search for it.
I did.
Search for Office PIR. So do a Control F.
See right there.
Hit that.
Oh.
You see there? No, it's nothing.
It's not doing anything. Going to the message pane.
I think it's an actual Home Assistant automation.
Yeah,
I think we made it in the visual editor the other day with Frank.
What?
On a
oh, maybe we did.
We totally
That's
did.
right. And I didn't undo it.
Yeah.
I can't believe you remember that. And I didn't. I do believe that. I totally believe that. Okay, but hey, look, here's our sun events.
Yeah, there you go.
So it's giving us the sunset. So here's golden hour.
Yep. So it says payload
sunset start, sunset dusk. So it's telling us the time that those events are going to happen based on the longitude and latitude that I put in. So the golden hour is here. Sunset, that's the time there. Okay, sunset start, sunset, and then dusk. Okay.
So I think this is the whole make hours seem like minutes thing. I think we just ran through a whole day. It's showing us what all the things are that we can get from it, right? But if we turn that off, we won't get all that. We'll only get it at
when it happens,
or sunset start, or whatever.
Okay.
Nautical dusk, whatever that is. What
is that? Nautical dust. If you're on the ocean,
I don't know.
Trey says I'm not getting those events. Is that why, Trey? You probably there's a little bit of a lag, so maybe you figured it out. But try this. If you don't have this checked, then that's probably why you're not getting those events. That's what I would guess.
Yeah.
Is it bad that I'm screaming at the screen? No, click on that. You're explaining that badly. You need to use this method. It's not bad. It's the norm around here. It's how I do things. So, Stone, what is it we're doing wrong again? That's UTC time. I don't know what time that is. 12:23 T. It must be so dusk, and I'm going to be this minus. Yeah, it probably is. So this is probably, or I would call it GMT. I would guess it's GMT because it would be. I'm about 6 hours before that, and so if I subtract 6 hours from that, you're talking about 7 o'clock, which is definitely going to be sort of it's going to be dark by then.
So Stone wants you to click on to get what the node can do.
Zulu.
Click on sun events.
Okay.
Yeah, and then click on the eye up there in the upper right by the bug.
Oh, now there's information. Oh, you want us to read the docs?
Yeah, he wants us to read docs like a noob.
Okay, this tells you how it works and what it is. What nautical dust is. Evening astronomical twilight starts. That's crazy. So these are all the different sun events you can get. And this tells you how you can parse that out, I guess.
The message.datetime or message.payload is the event that's down there. And message.datetime is the date and time. Okay. That makes sense.
Okay. Like a noob. Doctors don't need to read. Especially, I don't need to read when I have Rob.
I'll read it all.
That's why we make a good pair. Try Easy Timer. So let's try Easy Timer. Oh wait, well we didn't finish this, but that's okay. I still want to see this Easy Timer node. It's not there yet. Okay, so manage palette, install. I think it seems to me like if you make the commitment to NodeRed, then you can start really getting into things and learning how they work and such. And so it's still, like anything, it's still going to be a bit of a learning curve, but certainly has a lot of ways to save you steps and some headache when it comes to making automations in YAML.
And there's a ton of stuff, a ton of palettes too that have been worked on. Now, I would say a slight problem with NodeRed over Home Assistant is in Home Assistant, I think the integrations are a little more curated in that, like, you've got to go through a process and get it actually into the main Home Assistant build versus in NodeRed, I could go today and make a new palette for NodeRed and you could start using it, right? All it has to be is on GitHub. And so sometimes you'll get a palette and you'll really like it and then it'll stop being updated. And that sucks.
And we experienced that with the Amazon Echo one, right? That we were using that.
Well, that wasn't really their fault.
Well, that wasn't their fault.
That's
true. Good point.
That was Amazon's fault.
Yep, you're right. Okay, so Easy Timer. And you can put the longitude, latitude in here again. And events. Okay, so Easy Timer. So somebody was asking about how do you trigger something with the sun? And Mark suggested this as an easy node to use for that. Looks useful.
Dave Robertson says, can you do notifications like SMS or email with NodeRed? Yeah. So if you wanted SMS, you could use any of the many SMS services. Twilio, I think, is the really common one, where you can have it be Twilio in or Twilio out. And so you can have it receive messages and trigger an automation. So somebody could text you with a certain thing, and that would start an automation. That's what I'm going to do with my X-Lights next year. Is I'm going to have like a non-scheduled hours type of thing, where maybe I'll run the show for an hour a day or something, and then for the rest of the time, I'll just have a sign up that says, if you're here and you want to see the show, text this number, or text, Merry Christmas to this number, and then that'll trigger NodeRed to start the show.
Awesome. Stay hydrated. Gotta stay hydrated, 4Tracks. That's right. Does your wife still think you're not watching? He said, I saw that message. He sent a message like an hour ago that said,
I saw that.
You saw it? Yeah. My wife doesn't want me to do Home Assistant things on Sunday, so I'm pretending I'm taking a nap. Love it.
Correct. Yeah.
We're not going to narc you out, buddy. You're safe. Your secret's safe here. Yeah, and some of these use the SMS option on Amazon. Oh, David says there's SMS option for the Amazon Hub thing.
That would be amazing. What?
I don't know. This is David Felon says. Phelan. Where's Rob from? Rob is from
Florida, Tampa, Florida.
He spent an unfortunately long period of time in Columbus, Ohio.
18 years.
Man.
Yeah, I grew up basically on Ohio State campus.
Holy cow.
Yeah. Small town called Upper Arlington right there on Ohio State campus.
Your 4Tracks gold again for a while. Okay, good. Sorry to confuse. No problem, David. SNS is an AWS service. Okay, it's different.
Twilio is really cheap. I mean, it's like 100 messages for like $1 or less.
Yeah. And somebody said there's also Push Bullet, which is something that I know I've played around with with Home Assistant.
Maybe it's even less. I think it's like 1,000 messages for $1. Now that I say that.
And there's a free trial too.
Yep.
Looking for a dimmer solution for an overhead light fixture. What hardware would you suggest for Home Assistant?
I'm using the 2U converted Martin Jerry dimmers. Those are my push button ones.
There you go. And then you just did the Shelly. I saw most of that. Did you do much in depth on the Shelly dimmer, the new dimmer?
I
don't know if that would work.
I don't know about using the Shelly dimmer behind a switch, because then you can't dim it, right? If it's a switch, it's on and off.
Yeah.
But what I was talking about was having it, like, I installed a Shelly dimmer inline into a extension cord, and that way I just plug the extension cord into an outlet, and everything that I plug into the other side gets dimmed. So I've got like 2 lamps and 2 like uplights that are all now dimmed via that one Shelly dimmer, which I then have attached to a Martin Jerry dimmer that's on the wall. So I can dim them up and down with the button on the wall, but it's not even on that same circuit. It's just digitally connected versus, which again is done in NodeRed.
Design us a cheap US switch, maybe. We'll see. Just more Twilio for sure.
Yeah, Pushbullet has another one too. I know that a bunch of the Android guys were using Pushbullet as their notifications before Robbie finished their Android official app.
Yeah. How's that? And you're iPhone, so you don't use that.
Yeah.
Right? I've been on the verge of switching to Pixel to do a Pixel phone instead of iPhone. I still have an iPhone 7.
Have you messed around with the new actionable notifications? I've heard that now you can create them from the app.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't. I was happy that I was able to get the app working.
It's right here. You just click on notifications, and then you can add a category right from the...
No way.
Where you put in the name, the identifier, and what you're going to have in the preview, and the actions. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. It's crazy. I mean, I think actionable notifications are maybe one of the best things that you can do with Home Assistant, but they're also one of the hardest things. Like, it seems like magic sometimes when they work and when they don't work. If you get on there and then you hit, I don't think that was anything important.
Okay, good. That's fine. Add categories.
And then click on where it says new category.
Okay.
And then you put in the name of it, and down there at the bottom you get actions.
Whoa.
Add actions.
No way.
Right? It's like one of the hardest things to do in Home Assistant.
And hidden preview placeholder. We don't need anything there. Category summary. We don't need anything there. And then we add an action. Are you kidding? Wow. So you can mark it as destructive. So text input. But what triggers this though? So
we'd still go into our Home Assistant and have a certain automation fire this category.
Okay.
But we don't need to create the categories. Normally under you used to have that thing that said like iOS, and then you'd have all the different categories of your push notifications.
This, you make the push notifications here instead of in there.
Yeah. This probably warrants a new video. I'll let you do it.
It does. I'm just going to say the same thing to you. I'll work hard on it. Figure it out. And we'll talk to Robbie. I'd love to have Robbie on the stream sometime.
Yeah, he seems like he's a busy guy.
Yeah, I can't imagine. He's done some amazing stuff. I think he wasn't working for a while. He was just doing the app, basically. So
really, I thought that was the problem, is that he wanted to do that, but he didn't have the financial support freedom to do that. And so
maybe
he was saying that he wanted to get it done, but he just couldn't because he didn't have the time.
So let's see. Rage Dep C. Yesterday when I watched the replay about the Megatray, I mentioned I like tacos al pastor, which I ate for dinner last night, and I actually even had one left over for lunch this morning before this stream. He says there's something you need to see. All right, let's see it. And yes, we're still talking people that are posting about Big Timer. Big Timer is another one that
I don't use Big Timer. Big Timer is really it's super powerful. I think it's Phil Hawthorne, right? That made Big Timer.
Oh,
I think. I don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure it is though.
Yeah.
But the one that I use is called something else. It is called Light Scheduler, and it's incredible.
Ridiculous. I think I remember you telling me about Light Scheduler. I wonder if I have it in here. Nope, I guess I don't. So I kind of think of these, I guess we're calling them palettes.
Pete Scargill.
in NodeRed.
Who's Phil
Yeah,
Hawthorne?
Scargill. He's the one that does the podcast. He does.
Okay, yeah. Pete Scargill. Pete Scargill is the one that has the huge home automation blog.
Yeah. Anyways, these are kind of like a service. I think of it that way. Maybe it's not a very good resemblance, but I kind of think of these like a service. But like you said, in Home Assistant, it's pretty set what things get integrated in a way, or not set, but it's more rigorous, right?
Right.
And something like this, there's new things popping up all the time. But I guess we still had, we had custom components, and we have the Home Assistant community store. So I guess there's some similarities there. And things in the community store don't necessarily go through the same process as things that are.
They certainly don't. Which is, man, it's my one terrifying thing about the TTS service, the Echo TTS. You gotta put your credentials in that.
Yeah.
Like my Amazon credentials, where I have my affiliate program and all of my credit cards saved. You could do some real damage. I'm just gonna type that into somewhere.
You talking about the
text
media
speech
player one?
Yeah, Alexa media.
The media player one that we use.
You be quiet.
She heard you.
Schmexa media player.
Schmexa. Okay. Once I finish streaming, sure. Well, we could look at it right now too. Reminder to hit that like button. Thank you. Big Timer needs 5 different nodes. It's way powerful.
Yeah, Big Timer is. It's
Light
one of those
that's what I was doing.
There's that funny meme that's it's a graph and it's about features. It's when you start having feature fatigue. That's how I feel about Big Timers. That you can do so many things with it. I'm I can't even use this anymore. It's too powerful.
So is this it? Contrib Light Scheduler?
Yep, that's the one that I use.
All right. Let's answer this question, and then we can start wrapping up. I don't remember what time we started. How long we been up, guys?
About 2 hours.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good time.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. This is from MBC. He's got WS2812B LEDs with Node MCU, all hooked up to wLED, working fine. Followed along with the video on how to sync them up using music with LEDFX, but I can't seem to get it working on Mac. And I looked on that GitHub page you linked in the video, but I can't see a section of the commands to use for Mac. Hopefully you can help. And it's just something stupid I'm doing because not a karaoke. Oh, got a karaoke in a few days and you got to get them fixed. Yeah, you do got to get them fixed. You got a karaoke party to host.
What's on Mac?
I'm not sure.
It shouldn't be any different, right?
Because it's Python, right?
Right, but you don't see any of the actual Python code. You're just using bin files and stuff.
I don't know. Post some more stuff there, MCB, because I'm not sure exactly yet. Are
you trying to compile?
What direction to point you in? Yeah. Give us some more information. We'll see what we can do. And in the meantime, I will restart up. I will reopen the competition, which means everybody that was in before, you're still in. So this is from earlier today. So everybody that was in before is still in.
You gotta be beat, man. You've been nonstop today.
If I could tell you, you know what? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I don't feel like at this point I've done this a while now, and I've started to accept my limitations a little bit more about what I can do on the stream.
Right.
And so it doesn't really fatigue me like it did. Like I used to think, oh, there's no way that I could like come home from work and stream. But now I can. You know, I can come home from work and my expectations from myself are at a place where I'm like, okay, everybody's going to accept me for whatever I can give. And if I'm totally scatterbrained and not able to focus or do much, everybody's going to be okay with that. And we're still going to have a good time. And that's how it's worked out. So it's been nice.
My problem with streaming is that I have this giant studio light in my face, and so I come out of here, you know, let's say I streamed at night, and I come out of here at like 11:30 at night, and I feel like I've just been in the noonday sun for 6 hours, and so I'm like totally wired. It takes me 3 hours to calm down.
Yeah. There was a time where I was doing more, and I think it was when I used to sit, because I've been filming with this setup now, obviously for videos for 6 months or more,
right.
Where it used to be I would sit in front of the camera with a light and, you know, have to look at that the whole time, and you're not blinking very much and the light is bright, and, you know, you might do that for half an hour, 45 minutes and be exhausted.
Right.
This is a lot easier because I'm basically just sitting at my desk. I don't change any of the lighting. It's probably not, you know, studio perfect, but it's good enough.
I mean, it looks
for what
good.
we're doing. Yeah, thank you. I've got it in a nice place, and it makes it very easy for me to come in, click a couple buttons, and I can be streaming or I can be filming, you know, some demonstration. So
yeah, I definitely do not have that yet. I've got like a, you know, temporary green screen that goes up in front of my or behind my chair.
So you're still sitting behind the couch. You're at that desk you built behind your couch.
Oh no! I'm upstairs. The family's all downstairs. I'm in the whatever studio room, right?
Oh, where because you had like I saw like you had elliptical or treadmill or something in there.
Yeah, we got treadmill on here. So there's my green screen behind me here.
Yeah, you can see the edge of your green screen.
And there's my main green screen.
Okay.
Right.
I got one of those pop-up green screens, and the intention was to put it right behind me, but I just like having this big thing on the wall. Right. I don't ever take it down. I don't ever mess with it. It works out well enough. No, don't change too much what you're doing, Rob. You're doing great. The way you do your videos, your scripts, your teleprompter.
I'm happy with it right now.
Man, dude, you're doing it right. So don't change. Rob needs some anti-aliasing. Yeah. So you know what he's doing right now? I think because the edges of your thing are kind of choppy sometimes. So if we explain how he's on the stream, we're doing a Google Hangout. He's got the green screen behind him. My OBS is canceling out his green screen, and then I'm putting his the window where the Google Chat is, the Google Hangout, in my OBS as a window capture. So there's a lot going on here to get where we are, to have him on the stream like this with no background. But it's cool, right? All right. Oh, hello. Hello.
She can't hear you.
She can't hear me?
Scarlet. There you go. Oh, it's through my shirt. Hang on.
Well, we'll just wave. Everybody wave.
There you go.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good. Oh, how are you missing some teeth? How old are you?
Just a few.
How old are you?
7.
6? 7?
7.
Do you sing that song for your dad? All he wants for Christmas is your Christmas. Do you do that? Do you know the song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What song?
All I want for Christmas is my 2 front teeth.
Yeah, all I want is just 2 front teeth. What's your favorite song? What's your favorite Christmas song?
I can't choose.
What's my favorite Christmas song?
Dominic the Donkey.
Yeah, it is.
What? Dominic the Donkey?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So,
all right, girl. We're signing off. I'll be back down in a minute. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Bye, little lady. Thanks for being here.
When's dinner? I don't know.
When's dinner, Dad? Come on. Oh man. So, what I was gonna say with favorite Christmas songs, I like the Rolling Stones. You can't always get what you want. I sing that one for the kids. And then there's the Queen has that song where it's I want it all and I want it now.
Yep.
So those are my go-to Christmas songs. But Dominic the Donkey, classic. No
yes, Jamie,
it.
I do have it sequenced. I will share it soon. It's not quite finished yet, and I'm still bad at sequencing, but I did sequence it this year. In fact, I found a awesome
lights.
techno remix of it that goes perfectly with Christmas lights.
Okay, yes, please make sure we get access, because that would be great.
I'll absolutely post it.
Okay, fantastic. All right, let's see. I updated a bunch of things, and I don't know if this thing is going to work or not. Let's see if the kids will come up and do a sign off for us. Yeah, I don't know. It was working. The text to speech is out on my Amazon Echo right now. So we'll do it the old-fashioned way. Tell everyone it's time for sign off. Here goes. Oogie Boogie Christmas. Some of the Nightmare Before Christmas songs are pretty fun to sing too.
Nightmare Before Christmas is my favorite movie of all time. So
is that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, my kids like watching it. We watch it as a Halloween movie, but we always have the debate: is it a Halloween movie? Is it a Christmas movie?
I think it's a November movie, is what it is. So you watch it after Halloween, before
I like
December.
It, and that way it has a whole month all to itself.
Absolutely,
sounds great.
It's a Thanksgiving movie.
It's a Thanksgiving movie. Perfect. Okay, so who got to do what earlier, and who's going to do it now? First, I want to run this planes thing because I didn't get to do this one. I like the song.
I didn't get to do it.
Well, we just did one earlier, so we'll do one again. We'll do one again now. Who's going to do it?
If I guess. No, we should because I get to pick. No, she did it last time. No, she didn't.
This never starts a fight.
Wait, who did it last time?
Okay, but we're gonna do it again in the morning. We're gonna do it again tomorrow morning. Dawson says hi, Rob. Did you hear him?
Zoe.
Hey, Dawson.
Okay, so who did we decide? Zoe?
Zoe.
Okay, Zoe, where are you at, baby? Okay.
I want water.
It's Dr. Pepper this time. Go for it. Pick a winner, and the winner is Jaden Litolf. Jaden Litolf. All right, so Nigel already sent me his address in between. Jaden, you can send me your address in Discord if that's easy enough for you, or you can do this. Should give you this exclamation point W should give you a way to put your address in a Google form to try and make it easy for me to print out. Smell your hand.
Right there.
It smells like cinnamon or something.
No, it smells like angel food cake.
Yeah, that's always dangerous when the little kid says, smell my hand.
Not something that you want to hear.
It smells like angel food cake.
Smells like angel food cake. Oh, see, good. It does smells good. All right. Grip ties. Thank you. Sir, good enough for grip ties. And then tomorrow morning, this should be pretty fun. Are you working this week, Rob? You're on break, right?
I'm on break.
Okay, nice.
Until CES.
Oh, are you kidding? Until like after? Like you're going all the way through?
Well,
or do you come back before for a couple days?
I have to take 4 days off work for CES, but we would normally come back on the 6th.
Ah. So we need to talk, of course, and I'm sure we will, but we need to definitely have a meetup time and place this time. You know, that we can tell everybody, hey, anybody who wants to come by and say hi, we're going to be at this restaurant at these hours.
Yep.
You know, whatever day. So let's talk about what days. I don't have anything planned in the evenings at all. Dimitar's not going to be there, so we won't be going out with him. So let's keep it open.
I've talked to Reed from Smart Home Solver too, and we're
I'd love to meet him.
Yep.
I didn't know, I hadn't seen him until you mentioned it, and then I started watching some of his stuff. He seems like a great dude, and he lives in Arizona.
Yep.
I used to live in Arizona, so I'd love to get to see him. So that'd be fun. All right, so we won the giveaway. We did that thing, and in the morning, I was going to say the next stream is going to be 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, and we're going to build Quinn LED Dig Uno boards.
Cool.
That should be a good time. All right, how are we signing off, kiddos?
DrZzs.
Should we sign off? Rob, what is it you say? Let's do Rob's sign off. What is it you say? I can't.
What is it
tell,
that I
remind
say?
me.
As always, thanks for watching The Hookup.
As always, thanks for watching The Hookup. That's what he says. That is right. Okay, you ready? We're going to do it all together, okay? As always, thanks for watching The Hookup. Something like that.
Adios.
Okay. Adios. All right. See you, everybody. See you tomorrow morning.
See ya.